Hi, and welcome to Region Sports Network on the road. We're at Level Up Barber Lounge, 402 North Broad Street in Griffith. Hi, I'm Jay Simmons. Welcome to Barbershop Talk. We got our two guys right here, Big Al and Big C. Come on over, guys.
Come on, Jay.
Welcome to the show.
Good to see you again.
Yeah, good to see you.
Wow.
Go ahead, man. What do you got to say to this mop, man?
You're due for a haircut.
Yes, I am.
are.
Yep, and we're going to be joined by Phil Mason in a little bit. You're watching Barbershop Talk on Region Sports Network, the only game in town. And welcome back to Level Up Barber Lounge on 402 North Broad Street. I'm Jay Simmons, Big C, Big L, and we are joined by Coach Phil Mason. Do a little barbershop talk here about Griffith football. Welcome to the show, Coach.
Appreciate you guys having me. This is great.
Yeah, well, let's dive right into it, Coach. What drew you to Griffith?
Well, you know, when I was at Andrean, and even at East Chicago, a couple of years we had played Griffith. I always felt like Griffith football is kind of the heartbeat of the region. You know, when Griffith's good, the region's good, and I saw that especially when I was at Andrean with the rivalry that we had. You know, obviously it stems back from the 4th and 26th that nobody in Griffith wants to hear about. But, you know, just to that intense NCC, even back when it was Lake Athletic, Lake 10, you know, contest, it was just an awesome place to come to and just an awesome place to compete against. You knew you were in for just a great war.
Yeah, every time you came here, it was an adventure. So tell us a little bit about I think it was 2008 to 2015. You were at Andrean. Had some fun games with you and Griffith. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I lost to Griffith my first year as the head coach at Andrean, and then the following year we got a Griffith transfer, Sultanovich, and his nickname was Salty. And it's a great story about that kid because I'm going to tell you, I always thought he ended up playing with my son at Andrean, but he competed against my son in middle school. And I said, that's the best middle school football player I ever saw. You know, and then we ended up getting him at Andrean, and that year we won in a mud fest. It was kind of like playing at Griffith, you know, that mud track down the middle of the field, right. But it was that way at Andrean. We ended up winning, I think it was 10-6. And that was my first win against Griffith. And then I want to say the next year we won, and then the next year we went to overtime.
That was a double overtime?
Double overtime, missed the extra point, and lost that one. But, you know, at Andrean, we would prepare for Griffith 3 weeks early. The kids knew it. You know, we would have a couple of segments at the end of practice, a couple of Griffith periods. And the kids knew it. Oh, here we go. We got to start preparing for this stuff. And then the week leading into Griffith, you know, that Thursday before, I want to say we were playing KV. The Thursday before you play KV, you're telling the kids, get your stuff ready. Next week's going to be a long week. You know, we're going to be out till 8 o'clock at night. A lot of meetings, a lot of film, a lot of preparation. You know, that was just the respect you had for the program, and it was great.
Well, you know, when you see the wishbone only once a season, it does make it a lot harder to prepare for.
And especially when it was run as well as it was run. You know, it was exceptional the way things were run here. And then other things, you know, I remember one year we decided Russ loved pregame, man. He didn't show it, but he loved it, you know, and the kids, just the antics, just the field presence, he wanted the visitor to be here and warm up here. Well, we decided we'd warm up at St. Mary's, and I had a couple Lake County Sheriff officers who were parents who gave us a police escort in. We got off the bus, helmets on, ran out in the field. Captains met him. He wasn't a happy camper. You know, but that was a lot of fun. It really was. That was great stuff to prepare for.
The intensity, the rivalry had to have been a lot of fun back in the day.
Absolutely. You know, I remember. And we're talking about when my son played. I remember, I want to say it was 2006, 2007, when they ended up playing Frankfurt in the regional. Friday night got snowed out. It was a horrible night. came back and played about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I had my son with me who was at that time in 7th grade on the sideline. You want your kid to experience that what that is to be at Griffith. And, Frankfort people were nice people coming in, and well, I'll tell you, everybody was lined up in their pickup trucks. Bonfires were going. Didn't take long. I forget who the quarterback was down the sideline on the second play for a long touchdown, and that set the tone for Griffith right there.
Yeah, Griffith has a storied history. Is that one of the reasons why you ended up coming here?
Absolutely. I was looking at possibly just going into retirement. I've been at this a long time, and my wife and I had talked about maybe if a small school opening came about, would I consider it. A lot of things came into play, a lot of really positive things. Griffith administration, myself living in Lake County for over 30 years, wanting to move back to Lake County and be by my family. When I told my son about this, he thought it was just awesome. He's like, Dad, that'd be awesome. Go back, get Griffith back on its feet. I think that's the thing. I got a text from Tommy Finn right away when I got the job. Fantastic, man. This is great. So just even those old Andrean guys understanding the importance of it and what it means to have Griffith football, And again, I'm talking like I've got it done already. We've got a long ways to go. Love the kids, love the environment, love the community. I'm going to do everything I can, and so is my staff. We're 100% committed. I think we're doing some really good things. I know 1-3 isn't where you want to be.
Yep.
Our JV's undefeated, only given up 2 touchdowns so far. So I think that's really positive. Our numbers are really good, considering that we've only got 1 senior.
Right.
We played really well, I felt, against a good Highland team and a good Munster team. We could have easily won either one of those games, but our youth and experience, I think, cost us there. Hammond High, it was just one of those games, and you're going to have those games when you got a young team. They got 3 tremendous athletes we had 2 really good. You look at that opening drive against Hammond High, that was the plan. 7.5 minutes, get down to the 3-yard line, and unfortunately we turned the ball over. They got the ball in the athlete's hand, and before you know it, you're down 7-0. Kids responded, drove all the way back down, and unfortunately had a penalty, fell behind the chains, turned the ball over on downs. She responded really well against definitely a nice Whiting team. Their quarterback, their passing game was really good, and I just liked the way we played kind of a complete game against Whiting. I felt really good about that.
Well, we'll be right back with Coach Mason here at Level Up Barber Lounge at 402 North Broad Street. We'll be right back with Region Sports Network, the only game in town. Welcome back to Barbershop Talk at Level Up Barber Lounge, 402 North Broad Street in Griffith. Here with Coach Mason. I got Big C cutting my hair. We got Big Al over there cutting Coach Mason's hair. Let's keep going with our 2023 football season with the Griffith Panthers. Coach, you were talking about how the team has responded to you. Have they bought into what you're selling right now?
I absolutely, truly believe they are buying in. They want culture. They want a year-round program. They want to be respected within the community and the school by their peers. They want that. They want to say, we're Griffith football, and this is what we represent within the community. It's going to take time. We've had some hiccups along the way. You're going to. They're doing really well in the halls, which is what we expect. We're hearing great things from administration and faculty. Their grades are going very well for us. Their attendance has been outstanding, so they're understanding the importance of dedication. They're getting better as football players. They really are. I think one of the things that surprised me the most is the way that our offense has kind of superseded our defense. That's rare. Usually,
right.
You
Usually
get
it's the other way around.
Yeah. Colton Strohs has done a great job at Strezzo. Has done a great job at quarterback for us. He was a kid that we found in the field house first couple days. out there throwing the ball around, and you see this kid. There really isn't a true quarterback coming back in the program. So you see this kid playing around in the field house, and you sit down and you talk to him. You do a little research on him, find out that he's a really solid basketball player and he's been a good football player. He's done a tremendous job for us at quarterback. Jackson Lawson can play for anybody. I mean, he's going to be a kid who's going to go on and definitely play some college football. He's a special kid, rushed for 225 yards last week. Our offensive line is doing really well. I mean, really well. Those guys have really come together. They're led by our center, Nolan Davenport. So things are coming along. I mean, they really are. So we're happy with our progression. There's no doubt about it.
Tell us about the other side of the ball. Defensively, how's it working out?
Defensively, it's coming. It's definitely been a little bit of a work in process. What we've been trying to do is eliminate two-way players. And I think maybe that's where we kind of got hit a little bit early on was, 3 or 4 guys only going both ways, trying to create as much depth as we can. Those things are coming along with our program. Finding guys to fit in certain areas, getting a little bit bigger. One of the things that we did was we worked on getting out a young man who was one of the biggest kids in school, 6'3", 275-pound Logan Jimenez. Wasn't sure if he wanted to play, and then all of a sudden was taking pictures at a JV game, and we just talked him into it. Bought in, he's doing outstanding, and now he's our nose tackle doing a great job. AJ Farr's a leader back there at linebacker. He's doing a great job. Alex Cortez of the 5 technique. Moved him out to a little bit of outside linebacker, doing a really good job. So we're coming along there on the defensive side.
Well, you talked about building up depth, and you talk about that JV team going. What are some of the kids that are outstanding on the JV team?
On that JV team, we're seeing a lot of growth out of our offensive line, especially at the center and tackle position. Those kids have really gotten a lot better. Our quarterback position has grown quite a bit there. Defensively, we're seeing some local kids. Mason Andre, whose name is definitely a Griffith name, whose dad played for Griffith. Just those kids are really starting to gel and get a lot better for us.
Coach, I was at Rock and Rail this past couple of weekends ago, and I have to say the response by parents, because a lot of people know that I work for Regent Sports, and came up, and all I have to say is everybody I've talked to about you has raved about not only are you shaping good football players, but you're also shaping good human beings. And I think that's, a trademark you have whatever program you've been at.
Well, I appreciate that. And yeah, I always say this, and it's nothing, it's being a teacher, especially today's world, nobody understands how hard they work and the things they have to do. I always kind of say that high school football is the best taught subject in high school. I mean, but think about it. We'll ask a kid, sure, you got to study for your math test, and sure, your teacher is very demanding, but 2,000 people didn't pay $7 to watch you take that math test. So I mean, and the math teacher is dedicated to what you want to do and who you want to be, but they're not asking you, when you went to Western days, were you on your best behavior? When you're in chemistry class, are you on your best behavior? Did you get a detention for carrying your phone down to the PE locker room? Okay, that's what we're doing all the time. You can't go away for Labor Day weekend. The math teacher doesn't care if you went away for Labor Day weekend. All right, all those things, and the
right.
Summer commitment that we have to make. So yeah, that's what we do. That's what we do for kids. We're constantly putting demands on them to be on time for all their classes, for practice, for weights, for everything that we do. It's a constant demand on them, and I think it's the best way to teach them those life lessons.
Coming to a smaller school, 3A school, are you guys going to be willing to share the athletes throughout the school and try and get other players from basketball? Like you said, you got your new quarterback coming out from the basketball team. You guys going to be trying to share athletes as much as possible?
I think that's extremely important. You know, one of the things I always felt at Andrean, Matt DeSomer was our state championship quarterback in 2013. He also pitched the state championship baseball game that year. I want our kids to experience all sports. I mean, you only get to do it once in high school, you know? So high school coaches that don't want their kids competing and playing multiple sports and getting coached by multiple different people, that's not the way you do it. That's not the way you build a program. So yes, wrestlers, basketball players, track, baseball, I'm just going to, no matter what, no matter who you're playing for, no matter where you're at, I'm still going to hold you accountable.
That's right. Well, hey, Coach, any final thoughts before we get out of here?
Oh, this is the Griffith community right here, man, coming in, getting your hair cut, talking a little football, a little Griffith football. It's special. And, when you're out here, out and about with all the different, businesses in Griffith and places to eat and everything, it's a special place to be. And I think they're rallying around us, and hopefully we can make them proud and keep those Friday nights growing and making it special to come out and watch Griffith football again.
Well, Coach, thanks a lot for coming out tonight. We are at Level Up Barber Lounge at 402 North Broad Street in Griffith. Big C cutting my hair. Big L over there cutting Coach Phil Mason's hair. And we want to say a special thank you to their business. Come out and support these guys, like Coach Mason said. We want the community to get behind all the Griffith businesses, and especially this one, Level Up Barber Lounge. Like I said, come out and visit the guys. Thanks for watching and listening to Barbershop Talk on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.